Tapped in. Keep the credit, I'ma get it on the back end. Kick rocks, cutting corners, trying to cash in. We still outside, high as gas is. Watch them force you to EV. Tried to cut me out, but you need.
Yo, what's up, YouTube? Back at you with another video. On today, this is Raw Podcast. Make sure you hit that subscription button, subscribe to the channel, click the bell, and hit the word all so that you may be able to receive every notification that comes from the channel. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, we got to put the question on the table. Will Saquon Barkley be the first running back to amass 2 back-to-back 2,000-yard seasons? Now, definitely, this has never been done before. And I'm going to put it like this. Derrick Henry did have an opportunity to be the first running back to have 2,000 yards rushing 2 times, doing it twice. Derrick Henry fell a little short. I think he had like 1921. So he fell a little short of that. But we know that Derrick Henry is definitely capable of running for 2,000 yards. He keeps himself in tip-top shape. And him and Saquon Barkley definitely are the best running backs in the National Football League. But right now, I definitely got to give my hat to Saquon Barkley, coming out of Penn State, living up to a lot of the expectations for a running back, but then getting dinged up a little bit in his career. And you didn't know whether or not, he was going to be able to bounce back from that. Guys sustain injuries and stuff like that, and you just don't know what type of player they're going to be, or are they going to be able to bounce back, really. But Saquon Barkley has been able to bounce back, even with fighting with the New York Giants to be able to get a contract extension. Pretty much like I said before about the New York situation, man. It was, Saquon Barkley was the face of the New York Giants, and everyone knew that. But the Giants decided to pay the quarterback, which you kind of understand it. Quarterbacks get paid a lot of money in the National Football League. So they decided to bet everything on Daniel Jones, but only to release him, a year or so after, Saquon Barkley had left the team. Now, he had been fighting to get a new contract and things of that nature. And pretty much, you let him go to your, to your rivalry in the Philadelphia Eagles. And it was what a big mistake by the New York Giants to allow Saquon Barkley to walk, because he did not want to leave. I'm going to just put it like that. He did not want to leave the New York Giants. He wanted to stay with the team for his whole entire career. But the New York Giants did not value him that way. And we saw what happened when you get valued the correct way by a team. And the Philadelphia Eagles values what Saquon Barkley brings to the game. He was able to do some phenomenal things in one season with the Philadelphia Eagles. So barring no injuries or anything like that, can Saquon Barkley rush for another 2,000 yards? I definitely believe that Saquon Barkley will be able to pull it off. If anybody can pull it off, Saquon Barkley is one of those dudes that I definitely think can pull it off and be the first running back in league history to run for back-to-back 2,000-yard seasons. Now, it's going to be tough because you definitely got to stay healthy the whole entire season to be able to do it. We know that the NFL season is long, and then we know that it's going to be some competition. You got young guys coming up like Jahmyr Gibbs, who's definitely the face in Detroit in the backfield over there, even though he splits carries with David Montgomery. You have guys like Bijan Robinson, who is definitely growing up and coming of age as well. And then you got King Henry still around doing what he's able to do, keeping his body in tip-top shape, and is able to perform at a high level. And the biggest thing with Saquon Barkley is just going to be him being able to stay healthy and him actually being able to do it. I would love to see someone break the record of Eric Dickerson. It's been a record for a long, long time. And like they tell you, man, records are meant to be broken. And definitely, man, I wanted to see Saquon Barkley last season. Everybody wanted to see Saquon Barkley break the record because it's been the record for a long time. Nobody's been ever to touch the record of Eric Dickerson. But definitely Saquon Barkley came very, very close to doing it. But they opt to win a Super Bowl, and I can't knock him for that. At the same time, I still wanted to see this man be able to break the record. So hopefully, man, Saquon Barkley stays healthy And definitely we'll see what happens with the team going forth. But we want to see somebody be able to break the record of Eric Dickerson. We just got to keep it a hundo. We want to see somebody break this record. It's been a record for a very, very long time. And records are meant to be broken. And definitely either him or Derrick Henry definitely can be the ones that break this record. Now, I'm not saying that guys like Jahmyr Gibbs or Bijan Robinson can't do it. You know, I'm definitely not going to say that those guys can't be guys that rush over 2,000 yards, because they can. But both of those guys share the backfield with other guys. So normally when you share the backfield with another person, it's kind of hard to be able to do it. But with Saquon Barkley, even though he shares the backfield with other guys, he gets majority of the reps. Saquon Barkley had over 300 plus yards carrying the football, and that's the most that he's ever had in his career. And I think that's the most touchdowns that he had too, is 13. Now, Derrick Henry, he's been able to score, 16, 17 touchdowns in the season. That's been nothing for King Henry. He's been able to do that. But Derrick Henry, if he would have rushed for 2,000 yards last season right behind Saquon Barkley, he would have been the first running back to ever rush for 2,000 yards in a season in his career. So that would have been career-wise. But with Saquon Barkley, he has the opportunity to do it back-to-back. So definitely, man, I'm rooting for Saquon Barkley, who is my favorite running back in the National Football League. I would love to see Saquon be able to pull it off. I know that it's going to be tough. I know that it's not going to be easy. I know that it's a long season, and I know that he has to stay healthy. That's going to be the key to being able to do this. But definitely he has the offensive line, which is one of the best offensive lines in the National Football League outside of the Detroit Lions, which the Lions will be making the changes to their offensive line. So which is going to give the nod to the Philadelphia Eagles of being one of the best teams with the best offensive line in the National Football League. Detroit definitely is going to be missing Frank Ragnow, who is an all-pro center for those guys. So right now you got to give the nod to the Philadelphia Eagles having the best offensive line in all of football, and they got one of the best running backs in the National Football League in Saquon Barkley. And if anybody can rush for 2,000 yards back-to-back, I definitely believe that Saquon Barkley is the man for the job. So we're going to see, man, if Saquon Barkley is able to go out there and deliver another 2,000 yards, because I definitely think that he can. It's definitely going to be tremendously tough to be able to do it, because you're going to have to stay physically healthy, but he normally keeps himself in tip-top shape. So I definitely think that he's going to be able to do it. He's playing with the best offensive line, and I would love to see it, man. I want to see Saquon Barkley or Derrick Henry or someone be able to break the record of Eric Dickerson. And if Saquon Barkley is able to do it, what a phenomenal career and what a way to bounce back in your career. Even though you had a couple injuries early on in your career, you were able to come back and amass the type of yards that you were able to do with the Philadelphia Eagles is crazy in and of itself. But definitely, man, I'm going to be rooting for Saquon Barkley, who is definitely my number one running back when it comes to the running back position. Definitely, I like guys like Jahmyr Gibbs. Also love Bijan Robinson as well, and love King Henry as well too. But my favorite running back in the National Football League will be Saquon Barkley. No doubt about it. The kid was sensational coming out of Penn State, and he is still delivering. And I know that this is a big smack in the face of the New York Giants, who allowed Saquon Barkley to go to another team. That should have never happened if you're the New York Giants, because Saquon Barkley was the face of that team. He was the face. It was not Daniel Jones. Even though we know how important the quarterback position is on a roster and on a team, Saquon Barkley was the face of the New York Giants. And I know that they're slapping themselves in the face because they allowed this man to walk. And not only did Saquon Barkley walk, he walked away rushing for 2,000 yards and able to get an extension as well, resetting the market for other running backs to get paid. Now guys like Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs will be able to get paid now from what Saquon Barkley was able to do with the Philadelphia Eagles this year. All right, guys, signing out. Peace.